excited to have you all here with us this evening because we are having the opportunity to play a brand new game that just launched on Kickstarter this week called BrandStanding. And we have the opportunity for the people who made the game to be joining us right here to show us what it's all about. Quick introductions for those of you who have not been on the stream before. My name is Jordan, aka Axel Hellfire. I am joined by my co-producer.
Hi there, I am Guilty.
And
And
we'll let the three of
above
you...
me and around,
Yes.
We're backwards. Above me and around, we have the illustrious Tony, Mike, and Mark. Tony, Mike,
Yes,
Mark,
tell
thank you
us a little
for
bit about
joining us.
yourselves.
I'm Tony. I'm the head game designer for BrandStanding. I live up in Seattle until I move to Philly later on this summer. And yeah, excited to play with you all today.
Yay, thank you.
I'm Mark. I'm an assistant game designer for BrandStanding. I also do media production, so a lot of the fun video stuff you see surrounding BrandStanding online was made by me with help from other people.
I'm Michael Marchand, and I do things, and I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Chattanooga. Awesome. All right, well, thank you guys. Like Axel said, thank you again for joining us. We have BrandStanding here. I have it here. We are going to play. We, as you can probably tell by all of the boxes, are spread out over 4 different locations. But we're going to try and play one big game, and I'm looking forward to it. So, I have taken a peek at the directions. Do one of you guys from BrandStanding want to tell me what color cards to pull out first?
Yeah, I am. I'm happy to walk people through it. I had Mike and Michael and Mark get a deck there so they can pull from their deck.
Okay,
there's enough
awesome.
combinations in play that the likelihood that we'll overlap cards is pretty low, and that just makes it more competitive if we do for some reason. We want to get Jordan some of the prompt cards. So in BrandStanding, you build fake businesses and pitch them to your friends over the course of 5 rounds of funding in the basic game, which we call the startup. There's 2 other ways to play. The basic game plays with 3 to 6. I think 4 and 5 is absolutely the sweet spot, but I love it with 6 and I love it with 3. Also 2, and then the other variations can take you up to 42 players with team play and group play. So
42
if you want to get like,
players?
10 times as many people on here. Yeah.
So, are you kidding me? That's amazing.
No, and it plays faster at that rate too, because you play in teams. You give everybody 16 minutes to come up with as much stuff as possible, and then they come in and they do these huge over-the-top pitches as if they had just walked into Shark Tank. And so it's a whole lot of fun. You actually, anytime in our Kickstarter video that you see big groups of people like standing up with glasses of wine in their hand and me in a weird pink and shirt and red shorts, that was one of our team play sessions with a bunch of people down in Florida when we were there for an event. You basically start any given game by drawing 2 cards from the 2 basic decks in the game, which are the industry decks, which are the red cards, and these have different types of businesses in them. And then you draw 2 cards from the white deck, also too, and these give you different demographics that you are going to play. You look at those and you pick one of each. And so Michael is going to be talking to the chat. He's going to be helping you guys play along with us. So Michael, Mark can draw his 2 cards, but if you want to draw 2 cards for the chat.
Ooh, yeah, let's do it.
Ooh.
And then Guilty, if you want to help Axel get his 4 cards set up.
I will. Okay, so we don't need these demo cards?
We do need, you need 2 of these.
We need the demo cards.
You need 2 of these.
Oh, are those the white cards? Oh,
Yep.
okay. Some of them were turned the other way, so I didn't know. All right, 2
Probably
demo cards and 2 industry cards.
Yep.
Got it.
And you'll need some for yourself as well.
Okay.
And so, Mark, if you want to tell chat what their options are, I don't know if we can. I don't know how easy it is. I know it's easy to create a poll. I don't know how easy this would be to poll, but they've got to decide what they're playing with.
So hey, if you're watching live with us, here are your industry options. Get 2. We have a barber shop and an arcade. Barbershop but an arcade, and you're going to be playing for frat boys or overly cheerful morning people.
All right, so those are your 2 demographic options. frat boys or overly chill for morning people. So we've got to figure out what y'all want to play with and for, what type of industry cards you want to play with. So if you want to type into the chat which one of those you'd prefer, or I don't know if there's how easy it is to toss a poll up, Axel.
Yeah, I can toss a poll up real quick. Just give me a sec while, why don't we talk about what everyone else is doing and I'll get a poll up and people can vote.
Jordan, can you read your options?
That would be fantastic.
I mean, I'm asking if you can read them. I can read them to you. I'm just.
If you're putting them on the face down camera, I can't see that camera at all. I can only see you because I am in Discord.
All right. Your options for audiences are overly competitive soccer moms and hypochondriacs. And your industries are a detective agency or a martial arts dojo.
Good options.
Okay,
I'll think about that.
Yeah. Which one of each? So I'm not going to make, which we always like to kind of go around and say what we're not going to do. I'm not going to make a newspaper for con artists. I think that'd be a lot of fun, but it's not the one I'm going to do. Mark, what are you not going to make?
I am not going to be making a burger joint for royalty because Burger King already exists. So we're going to go a little bit further afield here.
So does Dairy Queen, for that matter.
True.
All right, let's see what my options are. Ooh. Oh boy. Okay. I am not going to make an alchemy shop for people who actually like snakes.
You're not?
I'm not, but it is tempting. It is sorely tempting. I feel like with like the hashtag witchy stuff, you know, it's very popular right now. There could be a market for that, but no, I think Instagram's got that on lock.
All right.
Sam.
Hello.
Could you
You need to show
help?
me cards.
No, I need to figure out how to get this into the main area.
Oh, yeah.
How do I do that?
Okay,
I mean, yes, I do need to show more cards, but I was gonna.
I had over-enthusiastic soccer moms and hypochondriacs.
Yeah, Jordan, you want to like pull the stream up and you'll be able to see it?
Yeah, give me a sec.
Oh shit. Hey, Mr. Ryan, bro, welcome to the table.
Oh god, it's tiny.
Oh shit.
A detective agency and a martial arts dojo.
This weekend when we did our live launch, we have a podcast we did in partnership with IO Chicago, which is one of the major improv houses there. We had somebody who did a dojo for imaginary friends. It was quite excellent.
That's awesome.
All right. I think I'm gonna go with a detective agency for hypochondriacs.
Nice.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but that just sounds fun.
So the primary mechanic of the game from round to round is that each round has a different focus. That you're going to have a period of time to come up with ideas that you're then going to pitch to everybody else, who will then vote on who they think did the best. Normally, we would use these delightfully colorful fun cards. We'd each get a deck, and we'd put them down in front of the player that we were voting for. Since we are going to be remote from each other, you can either it's probably going to be easiest just to keep track in front of you. who you're voting for each round, but it's the same amounts each round. So it'll get pretty easy once we get into it. I'll explain that. But you're basically going to give the person you think did the best 300,000, the second best 100,000, and then whoever you think you would not invest in for that round, you're going to give 0 to over and over again from each round. The first round, no matter what version of the game you're playing, you always start with business basics. The focus cards are these black cards. In the startup, you play with 5 of them, and there is kind of a recommended starter set, but there's another one that comes in the base set, and depending on how many stretch goals we unlock or what version of the game you get, there are additional focus cards that you get with some of the additional sets also too. So business basics will always be first, and I'll just kind of walk us through them. Did we end up with a camera that'll show that?
Yep.
Yes.
These focus cards?
Yes.
The black ones?
Yep.
Okay. I've got traditional marketing. No,
Business basics is the one we're going to start with. Yeah.
All right. Business
And so
basics.
what did chat end up voting?
Jordan?
Chat. Currently, we have 1 vote for Barbershop for Frat Boys, 2 votes for Barbershop for Overly Cheerful Morning People, no votes for Arcade for Frat Boys, and 1 vote for Arcade for Overly Cheerful Morning People, which, unless someone comes in here with some votes, I think we are going to go with Barbershop for Overly Cheerful Morning People.
All right. And Michael, were you able to pop out the chat window so you can see it?
I can. I can't. I don't know how to see poll results, but yeah.
No, the poll results are no one can see them except me, so I guess I could be lying, but
so well, if you will set a timer for us, Michael, be our timekeeper, and then if you'll talk to chat while we're doing this. So they are doing a, what was it one more time, Jordan?
A barbershop for overly cheerful morning people.
Yes, and there it has been announced by the bot in chat.
All right. So throughout the course of the game, chat's going to be branding out this barbershop for overly cheerful morning people. Michael will walk you through that. Michael, do you have the timer ready to go?
Timer is ready to go.
All right, we're going to have 3 minutes this initial round to work on our business basics, which are developing our elevator pitch, telling us why our brand matters, throwing in some fake market research or studies, the name of our business, and then we're going to come back and we're going to pitch them to everybody else. And Michael will share some of his favorite observations from chat also too. All right, ready?
Yep.
Ready and go. Again, those of you who are hanging out in the chat, we're coming up with the business basics for our barbershop for overly cheerful morning people. So let's start by names. I'm going to throw out, if you were opening a barbershop for overly cheerful morning people, what would you call it? I'll go ahead and drop those down in the chat.
Hey, Kit. Hey, Mr. Draco. Thank you guys for hanging out. We are doing a competitive fake business pitching session, and I am creating a high-tech munitions company for LARPers.
All right, so anybody else, if you have an idea for a name for a barbershop for overly cheerful morning people, we've only got 1 popped in so far. Drop those down in the chat, and then we're looking for figuring out why your brand exists. Why does it matter? You've got some market research tucked away that you want to pull out and or make up. Now's the opportunity for you to drop some of those thoughts in the chat. Maybe what percentage of overly cheerful morning people are in desperate need for a new barbershop? Or what percentage of overly cheerful morning people have long hair?
It's definitely not me. I am not a morning person. But I would go to a barbershop just based on a punny name.
Who wouldn't?
I'll go most places just based on a funny name. Awesome, guys. Keep the ideas coming. I love it.
I hate it so much.
Michael, where are we at on time?
We got 10 seconds.
No!
Hurry.
Oh no!
All right.
That was difficult.
Yeah, wow. Early burb cuts.
All right. So
That's cute.
the person who pitches first usually rotates around the table, but we're gonna have Mark go first, and I'll go second, and then we can maybe slide over to Guilty, and then Axel after that, and then next round I'll go first, and it'll continue to rotate.
Sounds good.
I had a feeling you were going to come after me. All
What
right.
can I say?
All right, then we'll try and start us off here. So, folks, anybody who works in a corporate environment knows that, dating culture can be hard. It can be really hard. If you're upwardly mobile, really, folks who are young professionals working in their field can be really difficult, And so the demographic that we want to look for specifically is, well, first of all, we're doing a dating service. Right, this is a dating service, but I want you to imagine the last time that your computer speakers weren't working or your internet connection wasn't working. And what happened was eventually you got so fed up that you picked up the phone and you called, the last guy that you have to call, which is Rick from IT. And Rick from IT, he shuffles up from his sub-basement lair where he's surrounded by piles of flickering modems and a faint aura of Cheeto dust is on everything. Rick comes shuffling up and he fixes what you need to fix because that's the kind of guy that he is. And he wishes you a good day and back he goes. But the thing is, dating services for members of the IT department don't really exist all that much, right? We don't think about these things. This is an underserved, just ridiculously underserved members of the community. And that's why we have started and the other thing we have to keep in mind is we must recall that according to the last Gallup poll, about 66% of IT professionals scored on the lower end of the emotional relatability and availability scales, right? There are people who are much more comfortable working with things rather than people. Yes. Right? So we want to cater to that need, and here's how we do it. Our service is called Connections. Dial-up social skills, broadband love. So we're very excited to be bringing Connections to you.
Why do I ever let you go before me? So a lot of people don't know this, but about 50% of the global population shares some common ancestry. A pretty wide, and it actually comes from one of the smallest regions of the world, and that's because of Vikings. Vikings did spread their genetic material around a whole lot throughout the course of history. And so today, even though only 0.03 people are pure Vikings, a lot of people are really trying to get in touch with that Viking lifestyle from way back. And so they're going out, they're living that Viking lifestyle. They're trying to kind of just get in touch with their roots. And they're battling hard. They're pillaging well. They're roving the high seas as much as they possibly can, or sometimes, just roving the streets around your house, yelling loudly at the top of their lungs and swinging axes, real or fake, around. But at the end of a long day, they need to be able to relax also too. And so the reality is, even though it's really hard for them to consider what they need when it comes to a lot of massage services. Vikings need massages also too, especially after a lot of combat, and that's why we're excited to bring to market More Than Thor, which is our new massage parlor for the Viking hordes.
Nice.
Very nice. All right, is it me?
Yep.
Very
It
cool.
is.
All right. Dear listener, are basic foam swords not cutting it for you anymore? Do you find yourself longing for more, more technologically inclined, antiquity-inspired projectiles? Introducing Ye Old Industries, the high-tech munitions company for live-action role players. Studies show that 11 out of 10 LARPers want more from their combat experience. Pool noodles, so last century. Get yourself some some completely safe yet frighteningly realistic plushy ICBMs. You won't know what's hit you.
That was great.
What was the name of that? Guilty, what was the name of yours again?
Ye Old Industries.
All right.
All right.
Jordan?
Do you have a problem with today's fake news? Do you have a problem trusting the experts to tell you what's really real in this world? Well, Healthy Homes is here to help you. See, if you need to find out what's really real about anything, your neighbors, your city, is that a dog or a cat? Hire us because we will investigate and find out the truth for you. 6 out of 10 online Yelp reviews report that Healthy Homes help them solve the mystery in their life. And that's a majority, so you know that you can trust that fact. Remember, Healthy Homes, diagnosing life's mysteries.
All right, so we'll shoot around just one more time so everybody remembers, because we're gonna write down what our voting amounts are. Mark, what did you have again?
I had connections, dial-up social skills, broadband love.
Connection.
Michael, are you
All right,
picking
and
for chat?
Michael, what's the name the chat's going with?
That is a great question. So we've had a couple, and my chat just reset. So hold on 1 second.
Oh
no! If someone else can see the chat,
We had Euphoriclips AM, Hair Chippers, Birds Barber, need a CrossFit haircut before your CrossFit workout, get the worm and fresh cut, early bird cuts.
Nice.
Did you have a favorite, Michael?
Yes. Oh, they're all delightful. Y'all continue. Let me figure out.
Okay.
All
right.
I feel like Michael's the arbiter of chat ideas.
Yeah, Michael is the arbiter of chat ideas. If you had an idea in chat and you really want to re-advocate for it, go ahead and type it in again so that Michael can decide which one he loves the most. And I had More Than Thor, which was the thing. So each of us are going to assign $300,000 to one brand, $100,000 to another brand, and 0 to one brand.
Okay. And what are the names of the companies again? Because I'm actually going to open up polls for chat to vote on who they want to assign theirs to.
Mark was Connections.
Okay.
Where's
Connections.
my 0?
Okay. And Tony?
I was More Than Thor.
More Than Thor. Okay. And then we had Ye Old Industries. And Healthy Homes. Okay, I'm going to open up the voting here. Chat, go ahead and cast your votes as to whose pitch was your favorite for this round. And I think what we're going to do is, so what's the spread on assigning money for us? We place 3 votes.
300,000, 100,000, and 0.
So I think what we're going to do is the top vote getter from chat gets 300,000 and the second getter gets 100,000.
Okay.
So
Good
chat,
plan.
go ahead and place your votes. Whether you want connections, that would be exclamation point vote 0, or more than Thor, which would be exclamation vote 1, Ye Olde Industries exclamation vote 2, and Healthy Homes exclamation vote 3. So go ahead and get those votes in, and then we'll close it here in a bit and assign some public votes. The rest of us will be casting our votes privately now to be revealed at the end of the game.
So normally you'd be putting these vote cards face down in front of the other players if we were all sitting in the same room, and they would not know what it was. Now, in between rounds, you also do have the option to pivot. So let's say you felt like, okay, I love my massage parlor for Vikings, but I don't know that I can go the distance on this. I think I may need to research, another industry for Vikings or a massage parlor for a different brand. You can pick up and look at a different demographic or industry card. You can look at one. And decide if you want to switch to that. Whether you decide to switch or not, you put that in your score pile, and it counts as cumulative negative points at the end of the game. So, did anybody want to pivot? Everybody good?
I will
I think I'm okay.
All right. All right. So the next round is going to be your flagship product or service. So it's basically talking about what makes you it's basically what you make, what your company offers. And so it could be your flagship product, a major feature of your service, or what makes you the best. That's the next focus card. And so we're gonna have 2.5 minutes for us to come up with this. Michael, did we ever come up with a best name for the barbershop for Overly Cheerful Morning People?
No, but here's what we're going to do. The next person to type in their name, because I can't see all the old responses, you get to be the one we choose.
Oh,
So
type
type it in.
down. Oh, collect something down.
Type it in.
Oh.
K-Bots, go. Because I like K-Bots the best. Go, K-Bot.
Type it in. First one
Barber
in.
make barber
doesn't matter.
face.
The first one in.
There it is.
U4 Eclipse AM.
I like that one anyway.
All right, Euphoric Eclipse AM was towards the top of my list. All right.
I was really rooting for Barber McBarber face.
Yeah. All right, so you guys will be talking about the flagship offering or services for that in the chat. We're going to have 2.5 minutes that Michael's going to set up for us to come up with our flagship product and services also.
And before we start the timer on that, Mr. Draco has asked us a great question, which is about giveaways tonight.
Woohoo!
So we actually have a couple different things going on right now. We have a Gleam giveaway to give away a copy of this game, which is super, super exciting. If you click on the link there in chat, for those of you who have not done Gleam before, it's totally free to enter. We have a bunch of different social actions, like going to check out their Kickstarter and all that. That'll get you entries into the giveaway, and we'll pick a winner for that on Friday, and then reach out to you and announce it on Twitter and all that jazz. We also have some cool BrandStanding swag to give away tonight. If you want to hold some of those up for us, Tony. We're going to open up the giveaway after this round, and we'll have a bunch of cool stickers and a really awesome pin that we'll be sending out to people. So we'll have some winners tonight. Maybe I don't know how you want to do this, Tony. Do you want to send like a swag pack to 2 winners or something like that?
We can totally do that. We can do a swag pack to 2 winners.
All right, so we're gonna pick 2 winners,
US
and you're gonna get a
only,
cool.
US and Canada. I know we have some northern viewers.
Canada's fine, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
if somebody's in a country that can give me an address, we actually have a shipping company in my house that we send a bunch of stuff out. As long as there's a physical address, I don't have much concern about getting there. If it is a reference to what you are geographically located near, it is sometimes hard for that to actually make it to the person finally. That's
Cool.
usually my upper limit. And so sometimes we do get things like the big house down the street from City Hall for very small cities, or sometimes very big cities in other countries. And so those ones usually don't make it. And so, but yeah, for sure.
So we'll open that giveaway after this round of pitches. But for now, as a quick reminder, Tony, can you remind us what it is that we're working on in this round before we get started?
Yeah, flagship offering. So you're going to tell us what you make. So that could be your flagship product or the major feature for your service. Basically, what do you make and what makes it the best? All right. Michael, you got the timer ready?
We are starting right now.
All right.
So those of you in the chat, we are creating the flagship offering for Euphora Eclipse AM, our barbershop for overly cheerful morning people. And so what would our signature haircut service look like? What would you call it? Maybe how much would it cost? What great benefits do people get from choosing us, choosing to have their hair cut, styled, shaped, or trimmed at Euphora Eclipse AM? Think for a minute and then just diarrhea of the fingers, throw it into the chat.
Wow,
No,
that is so
no filter necessary.
Stay within TOS.
Because if it's a bad idea, don't worry, we'll tell you.
And the card says, tell us what you make. What is your flagship product? Do you have a major feature for your service? What makes it the best?
Nice. Benji's my current favorite because no one else put anything in the chat. So let's hear it. What would the signature haircut be offering? What's unique about coming to get your haircut down at Euphora Eclipse AM, the barbershop for overly cheerful morning people?
Uh,
30 seconds, guys.
I need to get into chat so I can put some panics in here.
Five seconds.
Kate Bots is in my head.
Don't be distracted by the chat.
All right.
It's time.
So we've got a lot of really popular services at More Than Thor, the first ever massage parlor for Vikings and their descendants who are really trying to live that Viking life. Our first service that we really started out with, that kind of made the mark, was called the Bludgeoning, and it's where we just took really rough clubs or the blunt side of an axe, depending on the level of tension that you had, and just bludgeoned you for a while. The next one was the sharp stone massage. It's similar to a hot stone massage. Instead of being warm, they're just sharp, pointy stones that we push down into your flesh. To just kind of help toughen you up and give you that full Viking experience. After that, some people told us that one masseuse just wasn't getting the job done, so we started the one versus many, where you had to fend off as many masseuses as possible within the shortest period of time. A lot of people think pirates invented keel hauling, but it was actually Vikings. So we do have a service where we will take you out into the water and massage you by dropping you in front of the boat and just running the entire thing over you. Also, all those things have been really popular with our clientele. But what's really set us apart is the peelage, the PEEL-age, which is a full body peel, where we actually just rip any sort of dirt and probably the top 2 layers of skin just off your body. And you might think, like, who enjoys these? And the answer, Vikings.
Very nice.
I'm just saying. That's it.
All
All right,
right.
Guilty, your turn.
right.
Delightful.
So, you have probably heard of our flagship product here at Ye Old Industries. Yes, it is true. It is the AI-aided guided trebuchet. But wait, there's more. With our new platform upgrades, we have integration with both Android and iPhone, as well as drone assist for projectile retrieval. Other brands may try to replicate, but they don't come close to the Ye Old original. What was our tagline again? Your opponents will never see it coming. Ye Old.
Nice.
High-tech munitions for LARPers.
There we go.
It's awesome.
All right, Jordan.
Those of us-
Wait,
oh,
I
go
have a new tagline.
No, you're
I have a
good.
new tagline. Ready? Weaponize your weekend.
Nice.
Ooh.
I like it.
Ooh.
Thank you.
That's very good.
All right, Jordan, hit it.
All right. Our number one goal at Healthy Home is building trust with our customers. That's why we offer ride-alongs with all our services so that you can see us as we're out in the field doing work, getting the information that you've asked us for. However, that's not even the best thing we offer. Our flagship offering is the self-directed investigation, where you go out and find the truth for yourself. For the low, low price of $399.99, we provide you with a notebook, pen, and binoculars to go out in the field as your very own detective. Plus, act now and you'll receive a free magnifying glass. And we'll offer you half off the Sherlock Holmes anthology to teach you the latest and greatest of deduction methods. Because here at Healthy Homes, we're diagnosing life's mysteries.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Nice.
solid,
Very nice.
solid.
Nice. All right, Mark.
All right, this is Mark coming back to you for Connections, a dating service for IT professionals, dial-up social skills, broadband love. Here at Connections, we are dedicated from taking your love life from a floppy disk to a solid-state drive. And our number one, the number one service that we're looking forward to offering our newest clients is Tickets to Love. Tickets to Love. And then here's the way Tickets to Love works. Tickets to Love, you go ahead and submit your crush to Connections. They don't have to be on Connections. In fact, it's pretty much certain that they won't be. So you submit your crush in your workplace to Connections. And then what we do is once we have that information, we go ahead and we send one of our computer programmers to hack into their computer and just break that thing like you wouldn't believe it. We also call this Crash Your Crush. So they come in and do this. You will then receive, inevitably, a maintenance ticket in your inbox, which will tell you two things. First of all, it will tell you exactly how to fix that thing in the most impressive way possible. And second of all, it will contain some very handy conversation starters for you to go ahead and start some idle chit-chat with your crush. This is Tickets to Love from Connections. Dial-up social skills. Broadband love.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
All
now,
right.
Oh, God.
before we hear from Michael about Chat's thing, I did want to go back really quick and announce the winner of last round's vote from Chat, while the rest of us are listening to Chat's new pitch and deciding how to score this round. So we actually had a two-way tie between Connections and Ye Old Industries. So I'm going to propose that they each get 200 instead of a 300 split. So congratulations, Connections and Ye Old Industries. Chat thought your pitch was the best in the last round. We'll see what they think in this round as we open up the voting and hear Chat's pitch for this round.
So some of the products, the flagship products that we are going to be offering at U4 Eclipse AM include, we always have an early bird discount coming before 6 a.m. for 20% off. All of our barbers are professionally trained to have early morning conversations. And it's important to note that we are only open from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. So if you're not there by 7 a.m., you're not really a morning person. So you get nothing. We have the brightest lights possible, and for some reason, we have glass doors on the restrooms.
I didn't know what the point of that was. Kate Bots, I don't know what the point of that was, but it got me. Like, I was sold from that moment on.
Oh.
Can you give us a little context on that one, actually? Just when you
there's
get a
also-
second.
There's also banana hangers at every station and coffee grounds in the wait
Did you
area.
say
No
banana?
contact.
Never
She
mind.
refuses.
Excellent.
All right.
All right, so you guys are voting. So the next
Are we
round
voting
that we
too?
are headed to. So we should all be scoring. So you should be giving a 0, 100,000, and 300,000
Yeah.
to one of each of the brands
After
each round.
Yeah.
after each round.
So you have your
Okay.
cards. You can just make
I do have cards. Look at these nice
Yep.
cards.
So if you didn't do it last round, just put down
I
a
did
card
do it
for last round and a card for this round.
I did
And just
do
so
it.
everybody knows, the number of players determines the amounts you vote with. So in a 3-player game, it's just 3 and 100. In a 4-player game, you add the 0. And then in a 5-player game, you add 500,000. In a 6-player game, you do 0 twice. And some people think that's mean, but everybody has to do it because it's the rules of the game.
Yep.
And that's how investment works also too. A lot of ideas don't get funded. And so it is hard though. Like even for that last round, think about, all right, who gets the 0?
Oh
Yeah. It's a challenge. So all
It
right,
helps you
so
make friends by giving people zeros.
yeah, and that's the best part is no one knows until the end. And in the end, everybody either somebody killed it and everybody voted for them the entire time, or everyone has zeros.
Yeah.
And nobody, I've never had anybody be mad at the end of the game about getting 0.
I've also realized in retrospect that in order for this to work in chat, we should have people vote for their 2 favorites. So if you already voted, feel free to cast a for your second favorite so that we get enough votes that we have a first and second. So
Yeah.
I have reopened the voting with by telling the bot to allow multiple votes. So go ahead and cast a second vote for your second favorite pitch from this round.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
if you're wondering what's to keep you from just voting, like evenly you're trying to throw your vote, there's actually 2 winners in the game. The person who gets the most funds and their primary investor wins a seat on their board also. So even if you're not a creative person, even if you're sitting there watching thinking, oh man, this is not a game I could ever win at, you're wrong. First of all, lots of non-creative people win this game because they execute one idea really well. Or they will just be really good at that investment side of things. And so there's a pathway to victory no matter what. And that keeps people voting the way that they should also too. So this next round is trying to figure out if that yelling's as loud to y'all as it is to me. The next round, we did our flagship offering. This is going to be traditional marketing is the next round we're going to do. So this would be broadcast or print marketing. It could be a jingle. You could write a jingle. You can script a commercial, design a billboard campaign. You can just come up with a tagline if you don't get anything else. Some of you already have taglines. But anything that's traditional broadcast or print marketing, there's another category for online later on. Michael, you have the time set up for us?
We are ready to go.
All right.
On your mark, get set, go. So those of you watching in the chat, we're creating our marketing plan for U4 Eclipse AM, the barbershop for overly cheerful morning people. If you've got a great tagline for U4 Eclipse, go ahead and post that in the comments right now. I want to hear your brilliant tagline ideas. I'll wait. after you posted your brilliant tagline idea, if you were in charge of scripting the commercial, tell me a little bit about what a commercial for Euphoric Eclipse AM would look like. Maybe what's the setting, maybe who's in it, maybe what some of the vibe of it. Just let's come up with this together. Let's create a commercial. Tell me one element your commercial would have, and let's just blend them all together into one Frankensteining perfect commercial. For Euphoric Eclipse AM, barbershop for overly cheerful morning people. For those of you keeping score, Kate is currently winning because she's the only one who's posted an idea.
Kate is always winning.
Well, Benji likes Kate's idea. He affirmed Kate's idea. So whatever.
Benji, there's no trophy for affirming other people's ideas.
Where's Petoni out there? Come on. Excellence doesn't sleep. Ugh.
Tony and Benji, it's okay that you guys are just intimidated by Kate's brilliance. It's all right. Just own it. Guys, you have 15 seconds left.
Oh gosh.
Yeehaw, got snake eyes.
3 seconds.
Me talk sync for the host.
We have a acoustic. Benji's got a long one. All right, Guilty, you're up first.
Oh, mercy.
All right. Sam, are you ready? Are you going to sing along with me?
Sure.
Sam doesn't know the words.
Okay.
All right. Smash, crash, slash, ah! For a high-tech way to destroy your friends, weaponize your weekends. Smart Trebuchet by Ye Olde Industries.
Nice.
That was great.
Thank you. That's all I got.
All right.
All right, so I have scripted the advertisement for Hypo Detective, our self-directed investigation package. So the scene opens with the cops telling someone who it was that broke into their house and taking that person away to jail. But they close the door and think, what if the cops were wrong? They order Hypo Detective and it arrives in the mail. They open a box to reveal their aforementioned notebook, pen, binoculars, and free magnifying glass. They comb through the house, finding clue after clue, dusting for fingerprints. They track footprints across their backyard. Finally, they peek over the fence to find their prized doll collection in their neighbor's window. And the advertisement closes with them performing a citizen's arrest on their neighbor while the cops look dejected in the background for being so very, very wrong.
Very nice.
All right, Mark.
Hello, everyone. This is Mark again, Chief Love Officer at Connections. Dial-up social skills, and broadband love. We started out a traditional marketing scheme with billboards. Problem was that because they contained some information about our tickets of love promotion that raised some questions. So we rewrote them all in HTML, which works pretty decently well. But we're going to go ahead and we're launching a new initiative that we're very excited about. It actually is a commercial. And I don't know if you knew this, but increasingly the 90s are coming back. And so we are launching a commercial that's built on the premise of a 90s music video. So you have an IT professional in a Tesla rolling down the street, bumping out to some Weird Al Yankovic or some EDM or something like that. And he's got a little a little cooler pops up out of the console out of him that's shaped like a CPU, and the top pops off of it, and he pulls out a bottle of liquor, and he's got like a beautiful woman next to him, and all this stuff, and he speeds off into the sunset, and there's a voiceover at the end that says, "Connections, put your love life in beast mode."
Oh,
Amazing.
I hate you. We cut in. We see a ship on the open seas, trying and desperately struggling at an oar. There's a 98-pound, vaguely Nordic-looking but not quite weakling, trying to manage his oar as swollen Vikings around him just go at it, moving this longboat through the waves. Dejected from that, he struggles and starts to shift in his armor, which is at least 4 sizes too big for him. He just doesn't fit in it. All of a sudden, hands grab him all around, drag him up to the front of the ship, and drop him over the front, demonstrating our mini 1 versus many in keel hauling services. As he's dragged out of the water behind the boat, they start to peelage him, and as they step back, all of a sudden, he is swollen up. I mean, literally, it's not just that he's swole now. He is swollen to the point where he actually fits into that armor absolutely perfectly, and is living the Viking life a little bit more authentically because, he's only like 0.5% Viking, but he still wants to live that Viking life. And then as it zooms out on the longboat once more, our tagline goes over the top, which is, "More than Thor, you'll be more than sore till you're sore no more like Thor." Roar.
Nice. So, checking in with chat's vote from last time, I think most of us already know last round pitching, and that was Connections. Congratulations. We did, however, have a 2-way tie for second place between Ye Olde Industries and Healthy Homes. So we're going to award them both $50K.
Okay.
All right.
From chat for the round. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the betting here in a sec. There we go. All right. Wait, hold on. I made a mistake. No, don't vote yet. I forgot to reset the votes from last time. Otherwise, Connections would have just started with 5 votes.
I don't think it's going to turn out much different.
Yeah, probably not. All right. Voting is open. Go ahead and vote on your favorite pitch while we hear chat's pitch for this round.
So the commercial opens up and a overly excited morning person pops out of bed, and of course they are fully dressed and ready to go, and they race out the door with a smile on their face, and they walk up to everyone's formerly favorite barber, Super Clips, and they realize that it is closed. And they walk to yet another barbershop down the street, and it is closed. And so, distraught, they can't get into any barbershop they can find. They spend their morning instead cheerfully talking to people who have no interest in having a conversation with them. And so they sit down on the curb, and a sad song plays as they wallow in pity. And then, seeing the reflection in the puddle of their tears of Euphoria Eclipse AM, they hop to their feet and race right in. Because at Euphoria Eclipse, we'd open earlier, but it would be yesterday.
That's fantastic.
Amazing.
Well,
Good job team. Good job, team.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Mostly Kate and Benji. Everyone else, you're dead to me. But good job, team.
Awesome.
We gotta
Alright,
get
Kate
Kate Bots and Mark to go head to head at some point in time.
Oh, yeah. And while I'm thinking of it, we're going to open the giveaway for the sweet, sweet BrandStanding swag pack. If you've never done a giveaway with us, the way it works is as you've been watching the stream, you've been accumulating tilts, which is our on-stream currency. And if you don't know how many tilts you have, do ! Tilts in chat to find out. You can buy up to 25 tickets for the giveaway. Each ticket costs 1 tilt. And if you follow the stream, you get 10 tilts right off the bat. So if you've been here and you just joined us right now and you throw us a follow, that's 10 tickets you can buy for the giveaway. We will keep the giveaway open until the end of the stream. So you will be able to buy more tickets as you accumulate more tilts throughout the stream. But if you want to buy some tickets now for some sweet, sweet swag, get those tickets in by typing !tickets and then the number of tickets that you want to buy.
And the sticker pack, this is from Snake Holes, which is the miniature golf course for people who own snakes for some reason from the first season of our podcast. We've got our BS logo, which is super popular. I wore the shirt through the airport this morning and got stopped no less than 3 times. The Flying Dead, which is the first ever airline specifically to get the zombie horde where you want them to go, away from you. And Mingle Bells, which was our season 1 winner, the first dating site exclusively for mall Santas and those who love them. So I'm also going to make it rain a little bit.
Yes. And this really sweet pin with the BrandStanding logo.
I love that.
Yes.
I really want
Wow.
I paid so many dollars for those things.
So many dollars.
So many. But you can get them for free by winning
It's okay.
right now on the stream.
Sam.
And to clarify again, it did say we wouldn't ship it here besides the US, but we'll ship it to you as long as you have an actual physical address. That's
Yes.
You
And
like
welcome
all
to the
that
table,
privilege.
Benji.
fine. So, yay!
All right. So what's our
Benji's a
next
good guy.
round look like?
Benji is already back to the Kickstarter. He's just here for fun. We love Benji. Next up is let's see. We'll give you guys a choice. We can either do visual branding or strategic partnerships. Visual branding or strategic partnerships. What do you guys want?
Strategic
I like
partnerships.
Strategic partnerships.
All right. All right. Strategic partnerships is absolutely my favorite focus cards. You typically don't play it in the vanilla version, but I love it, so I always give people the option. So it's share what people are saying. So it's what celebrities love your brand. Are you the official blank of blank? Or what about some customer reviews? So this is basically about who you partnered with and what people are saying about your company or product.
Yes.
So usually at some point during this round, I will just giggle delightfully to myself, and no one else will think it's that funny in me. All right,
Just
Mark,
like
Michael, you got to set up for 2.5 minutes, just
we're ready.
like the rest of my life. Yep.
Okay, so we got 2.5 minutes. Are you ready? Start. All right, so guys, for you 4 Eclipse AM, those of you who are still on the team, welcome. We are working on our strategic partnerships. What celebrities are overly cheerful morning people we think would make good brand partners for you 4 Eclipse? What? Cue Tony's unnecessary giggling.
I was reading Kate's answer.
Well, always. Well done, Kate, as usual. Just putting the team on your back. I appreciate it. If only the rest of our team would show up. Which celebrities love our brand? Who are we partnering for? Who are we the official blank of blank? What are our customers saying? What are the reviews happening? One more time, if you're playing along with us, we're looking at strategic partnerships for you 4 Eclipse AM. Go ahead and drop your ideas right in the chat. Share what people are saying about our incredible barbershop for overly cheerful morning people. Which celebrities love our shop? What are we the official barbershop of? And what are our customers saying? Maybe give us a sample 5-star customer review. What would they say when they find us and review us on Yelp? I like it, Benji. Guys, 30 seconds. Because of that sound, I'll give you 5 extra seconds. Okay, I need to know why so I can pitch it. Otherwise, it sounds weird.
Maybe he is one of the.
Isn't it obvious?
Not to me. 5 seconds, guys.
Maybe he is one of the Insomniac wig makers.
What a twist.
All right, I'm first, right? I think.
Sounds good to me.
Yes.
Great. Here at Healthy Homes, trust is everything. That's why we'd like you to hear from some of our customer testimonials. We've heard our number one feedback is that Healthy Homes ride-along service has made them feel like. But you don't want to hear from just any old customer. Let's hear from our celebrities. Benedict Cumberbatch said that Healthy Homes allowed him to launch his movie career by no longer shooting crappy episodes. Robert Downey Jr. said Healthy Homes was indispensable in my search for the Infinity Stones. And Arthur Conan Doyle published 3 more books thanks to Hypo Detective's exclusive anthology discount. You've heard it here first. Healthy Homes, diagnosing life's mysteries.
Such a solid tagline. I like
It
it.
is. Okay, it's me, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, hello, folks. It's me, Mark again, Chief Love Officer of Connections. Dial up social skills, broadband love. So we have acquired quite a large number of brand supporters who have agreed to come on board to help us out. They include Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Leonardo DiCaprio, Beyonce, Tom Hanks, George Clooney, the Oprah, and the entire cast of the very popular TV show Game of Thrones. And the reason they've come on board is because we crashed their computers and threatened to post their browser histories directly into the homepage of msnbc.com. And for that reason, we have an amazing pantheon of people who are pushing our products. So thank you very much.
Weird flex.
Yeah.
Weird flex. So weird. So good. Well, at More Than Thor, we'll be more than sword till your sword no more like Thor roar. Has a number of really strong endorsements. First, Jarl Styrig Eriksbane, the head of the village, right? He highly endorses our product. He says, they had a hard time getting a crew together to rape and pillage until he started sending people to More Than Thor. Also, Thor, the god of thunder himself, first son of Odin, who is our namesake, said it's good. Also, the serpent that's curled around the base of the world tree, Yggdrasil, said Ragnarok, 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 over and over again. We weren't exactly sure what it meant, but we went in and took it as a solid sign that he's happy with our product.
Oh,
It's like all this deep Viking and Norse mythology cuts.
yeah.
All right. Very nice. Me?
Yep.
Yes.
Hi. When Elon Musk wasn't asked back to the weekly LARP group because his not a flamethrower crispified the high school principal on the other team, he thought he would never get that rush of adrenaline and historic partial accuracy again. Thankfully for him, the shiny new toy, what did I call it? Dang you, sticky note. his shiny new toy, the AI Trebuchet, has filled that hole in his heart. And the front lines of the opposing group. The official high-tech war toy of the Girl Scouts of America. Fans have said, I love the cries of anguish from across the field. Bezos can suck it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So let's check in on how chat voted on the last round. And the winner was Ye Olde Industries.
Wow.
And we had a split second place between Connections and More Than Thor. Each score.
All right.
So we're going to go ahead and reset this and open up the voting for this round, and then chat's pitch.
Chat,
Take
So-
it away.
chat,
With
chat.
with such a strong brand like Euphoric Eclipse AM, we have tons of brands who are just beating down the doors trying to get a brand partnership with us. We've had to turn down such incredible brands like Aquafresh and Tropicana, and went with the only real choice in this strategic partnership. We went with the CSMMW, which we all know is the Insomniac Wig Makers Association. What does CSMMW stand for, you ask? Can't sleep, must make wigs.
Jordan picked a bad time to drink.
They're quite a great organization. But let me tell you about a real life review we got on Yelp. It says, I hear they're great, but I'm never awake when they are. So says a sad non-morning person on Yelp.
Nice. Great job, chat.
Benji and Kate, once again, carrying the teams on your back. Everyone else, did.
All right. So
Marker.
we can either do online presence, make it go viral, or visual branding. Which one do y'all want to do?
Oh, thank you.
Ooh, I like online presence.
You guys are just terrified of drawing things, aren't you?
Also that.
All right, let's do online presence. Make it go viral. It's our last round.
All right.
Make sure you voted from the previous round. Make it go viral. What are your clever URLs or hashtags? What's your social media strategy, and what type of online marketing are you doing? Chat, I believe in you. I believe in you.
No,
You could describe
Benji,
it.
that's quitter talk. That's quitter talk, Benji.
In visual branding, you actually don't. You're not. Though most people do. You're not required to draw anything. You can just describe your logo verbally. It is allowed. However, online presence, make it go viral. Michael, set up the timer for us.
2.5 minutes. Are you ready?
Also, thanks to the pity votes last time, chat. I appreciate it.
Let's do it. Go.
Whew. Time to read this card. What are your clever URLs or hashtags? What is your social media strategy? What type of online marketing are you doing? Okay. All right. I think I need another sticky note.
All right, chat. So we are working on our online presence for Euphoric Eclipse AM. How do we make our brand go viral? We have a clever URL for our establishment. What about great hashtags? Everyone loves a good hashtag. What is ours? Or just really, what's our overall social media strategy? How do we get that clout, as Benji says? How do we do it? Maybe what sort of online marketing are we doing? Really, it's not enough to be an amazing brand like we are. How do we help it go viral on the tubes?
You
Okay.
ever get to the end of like a thing you're
Guys,
writing down, and
Tony's
you're
really
like,
funny.
nope, that won't work.
Again, Kate and Benji coming in clutch. What about the rest of you lurkers out there? What you got? We need ya. Everyone right now, if you're watching, everyone, that means you, Mom, everyone, put your hashtag in. What would your hashtag be if you were in charge of hashtag creation for our brand? What would that be? And to everyone else, 30 seconds.
All right. The man, the legend, Chief Love Officer at Connections,
Benji, that's
Mark
good.
Aurelius Guiney.
Thank you. All right, so, sorry. Hello, my name is Mark. You may remember me. I am the Chief Love Officer at Connections Dial-Up Social Skills Broadband Love. And for online presence, obviously, online is kind of what we do. And let's think about, we're going to give our customers a place to congregate online. Because let's think about it. Instagram, for IT professionals, people can only take so many pictures of stacks of servers, right? Facebook, I mean, I don't know, your grandma's on there. It's a little bit odd, maybe not the best fit for us. Twitter, do we look like journalists and podcasters? No, we don't. We need a place for us. And of course, the place for us is stackoverflow.com. But we have built a specific section of stackoverflow.com for Connections users, where you can get online and you can not only talk about your various real work tickets, you can talk about your tickets for love. You can swap strategies for having conversations with people who live in the world above. You can swap and compare your USB drive collections. And we'll also tell you that it's from there, exclusively from there, that we're going to be building the companion brand to Connections of Dial-Up Social Skills Broadband Love. And what it's going to be is it's going to be our exclusive, for when you get to the next step, version 2.0, our relationship counseling service. Get this, it's called Patches, Low Communication, High Resolution.
Oh, Mark, before we move on, Mark, I heard just a few minutes ago that you got a promotion. I was wondering what your new title is at Connections.
Yes. So my new title is actually, it's going to be at Patches, relationship counseling. And it's going to be Chief Find Love Again Officer. I don't know. I don't know where I got that one.
USC Flower. All right.
So we had a little bit of a confusion when we talked about our new viral campaign, because all of the guys who actually were Vikings just went out and contracted syphilis, jaundice, and Giardia again. And so
well then, guys,
it didn't work out. It didn't work out quite the way that we intended. We did eventually actually settle on a pretty good URL. We heard that brevity is really important. So our URL is amttybmtstysnmlt.roar, which of course is the acronym of more than Thor, you'll be more than sword, you'll use sword or more like Thor.roar. Either one will work, but we heard it shorter is better, so we went with the shorter one. And then finally, like when we realized we just didn't get it, we went over to this new hot startup in town called Connections, and we just offered them our Bludgeon service for free until they gave us their social media campaign.
All right. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it a Gimli body pillow being launched at our competitors' offices? Somehow, across the Twitterverse, videos of this guerrilla marketing campaign are popping up. Here, there, everywhere. Who knew there were so many companies making war toys for LARPers? We did, and we body pillowed them all with our new AI trebuchet. Hashtag trebuchet. Trebuchet AI. Introducing our new product. Also introducing our new product, a high-tech one-on-one combat for close quarters, the ultra lightweight foam sword. Hashtag nudes no more. No more using pool noodles. Nudes no more.
Nudes no more.
Nudes no more. Thank you.
Love it. So, when we thought about how we wanted to tackle the world of online advertising, we took a three-pronged approach. First of all, we had to get a great website. That's why we bought www.cureforclues.com. That's right. Everyone who wants their one-stop shopping place for self-directed investigations can come right to our website. But that's not all. We also bought advertising on every conspiracy website we could find, and we bought the entire site of WebMD and just plastered it with our ads. But wait, I mentioned it was three-pronged because we've also taken to social media and we have shared GIFs of Dick Van Dyke everywhere. Hashtag diagnosis mystery.
Nice.
Nice. All right. Here we go.
Connection.
Now we got to hear from chat while we are doing our final round of voting. I do want to point out though that since I pillaged Connections, I do get 2/3 of Mark points.
Let's see who won the last round according to chat. And the bot says the winner was Connections.
Woo!
With Ye Olde Industries coming in second place and receiving that 100.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll reset the voting and open it up and
Very nice.
chat's pitch. Go ahead and vote now on who you think this round pitches. You can vote twice.
So we're excited as our brand continues to develop. We've found our marketing niche, and so really where we excel is by being the early morning alternative to all of those other barber brands out there. So rather than worrying about our own domain name, instead what we did is we looked at all of the most popular barber shops out there, and we registered the appropriate domain for our industry. And so we now own supercuts.am, because morning. We own greatclips.am. We own sportclips.am. We own fantasticsams.am. Just pretty much any haircutting place.am. We got it. And when we look to do some viral marketing, we really relied on a woman named Sharon Daniels. I don't know if you guys remember Sharon Daniels. She starred in a commercial back in 1992 for a little known brand called Mervyn's. I don't know if this rings a bell for anyone, but the commercial is basically her pressed up against the glass saying "open, open, open." And so since our shop is open from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. and none of these other popular haircutting places are open between 1 and 7. We simply tweet them every 30 seconds with a video of Sharon Daniels saying open, open, open between the hours of 1 a.m. and 7 a.m. I'm just trying to get that.
That's
in there.
fantastic.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
And we're not voting for chat? I think chat.
Not
Chat's
historically. We could have voted for
Chat's
chat.
already
We
won.
could have been.
Chat's already won.
Chat always
has
wins.
already
Yeah.
won. Very nice.
Chat always wins. Is that the last round, or is there another round
That's
after?
it. That's the last round.
All right, so chat, get your votes in on this last round. Whose pitch did you think was the best for their online presence? And while chat are getting their final votes in, I think we can go ahead and stare at Mark and Michael until they unfreeze.
Uh-oh.
But I think we can probably all what we invested in each company,
Yep.
and then report the totals, and then we'll add in for this final round once we have that. So we'll take a sec here.
A vote for connections is 2/3 of a vote. I pillaged it. Mark and Michael, if you can hear us, leave and come back.
Yeah, I'll also message them on Discord. Oh God. Sorry, chat.
There we go.
Okay.
Yay!
We heard every nasty thing you said about us.
Yeah, it's
Great.
pretty awesome.
So we're going ahead and totaling up our votes for each company while chat gets their final vote.
Yeah.
And then we're going to reveal how much we invested in each company. So to recap, why don't we have everyone say what the name of their company was and like what their tagline was or what they did, so that everyone knows what all companies were.
It's a tagline you want? I think I've got one of those.
Sure.
It was more than Thor, because it more than Thor, you'll be more than Sword. So you're sort of more like Thor. Roar.
All right. I am Ye Old Industries. Weaponize your weekends.
I am Healthy Holmes, diagnosing life's #diagnosis mystery.
Hi, I'm Mark, Chief Love Officer at Connections, Dial-Up Social Skills, Broadband Love.
And everyone's favorite brand, before Eclipse AM. We'd open earlier, but it would be yesterday.
That's so good. All right, so why don't you go first and let us know?
All right, so I need to make all the enemies first so that retribution can be meted out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, basically.
Fair enough. So for More Than Thor, I had 700K for More Than Thor.
Better than I thought I did.
For Ye Old Industries, I had 1 million K, otherwise known as 1 million.
Ooh.
1.0. And for
1 million
Healthy
K and
Homes,
1 million are not the same thing, I want to point out.
excuse me. Yes, I had
I'll take
1,000 K or 1 million. Excuse me. And then for Healthy Homes, I had 300 K. 300.
Tears.
One.
Is someone else adding these up, or should?
I'm writing it down. I got it.
All right.
No worries.
Oh, I was going to say, you should just write down your own. That's the trick.
Yeah, and I'm writing down what everyone that I can
Cool.
put up at the end.
Math it real quick.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go next for Ye Old. I did 500,000. For Healthy Homes, I did 500,000.
Ooh.
And then for Connections, I did 1 million.
Woo!
But I took 2/3 of that. in the
Wow.
end.
He took it back.
All right.
I don't think that's how this
I'm
game
not
works.
sure that's how this works either.
Historically not, but it's an improv game, so you have to say yes and.
Yes, and we punch you in the face.
Pass me those rules.
Yeah,
For
it was a forced takeover. Hostile.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, in that case.
For Healthy Homes, I did 200,000. For Thor, I did 500,000. And for connections, I did 1.3 million.
Woo!
Oh, sounds like somebody's going to be a
Big
winner too.
money. All right. I gave More Than Thor 500,000. I gave Connections 600,000, and I gave Ye Olde Industries 900.
Wow, those are pretty spread out.
Yeah, and chat, get your votes in now because I'm about to the voting. Yes, this is all improv, Kate Bots. We are all making this up
Kate,
as we go.
This is completely scripted. Don't let him lie to you. Also, Joel's Deceit, welcome to the table. Thank you for that follow.
Thank you. Yo, what's up? I kind of know who that is. All right. So, chat, so far, I haven't actually added theirs up yet. Let's figure out how they voted on this. We have another tie. Connections and Ye Olde Industries split the pot again. Look at that.
Witchcraft.
All right.
I think it's rigged.
I think it is rigged too.
I think Connections hacked into their high-tech munitions mainframe.
Well, then you're happy because you own them now.
I do. I get two. I get 1/3 of all the votes for Ye Olde.
All right. So let me see here. There were 5 rounds, right? I want to make sure.
There were 5 rounds. At one point, I started noting things.
All right. So chat gave More Than Thor 50,000. They gave Healthy Holmes 50,000.
Are you?
And I have to do math because everybody else has lots of points.
Yep.
They gave Ye Olde Industry 850,000. And they gave Connections 1,000,000.
1,000,000.
1,000,000.
So, if my quick maths are correct, Healthy Holmes has raised 1,050,000 total. More Than Thor has raised 1,750,000.
That's correct.
Ye Olde Industries has raised, let's see, it looks like 3,250,000.
Yeah, I got 3.25 mil.
Yeah, $3,250,000.
All right.
And Connections raised $3,950,000.
But his plurality investor, who gets a seat on his board, was guilty, right? 1.3 guilty.
Yeah, Guilty invested the most in Connections.
So Guilty wins also.
2 winners.
This is a totally natural brand crossover that we are going to do so much with.
Yeah. Those LARPers are looking for love also too.
It's going to be love with consequences.
A good amount of
chat. If we had been voting for you, you would have won chat with.
Connections and Ye Olde Industries are going to together to create Internet of Things LARPing, where you can LARP without having to leave your basement.
But you might still get injured.
Awesome. Right. Thank you guys so much for having us on.
Yeah, this was fun.
This was super fun.
Normally we have a bit of a post-game review phase, but since this is a different style of game than we used that review for, I think we'll just sort of give our thoughts on the game and the experience. And chat, feel free to chime in with your thoughts as well, since you got to play with us. But Guilty, how did you feel about this?
How did I feel?
Yeah, how did this game make you feel?
How did this game make me feel? Like I'm ready to go on Shark Tank. No, this was fun. This was super fun. I can imagine playing this with like a group of friends at a bar. I could imagine playing this with a group of friends at home. I 2.5 minutes goes super fast. So I think maybe you get more used to that. Tony, Michael, Mark.
Sometimes.
They're
Yeah.
nodding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a fun challenge to feel like I had zero time to put my thoughts together. But part of that might also be from streaming. But I enjoyed this. I would probably sleeve these cards and bring it to a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This was super fun, also super challenging. Early on in the game, I felt like I was coming up with good ideas. Later on in the game, I felt like I had good ideas, good job of pitching them. And I also realized that most people probably don't know what diagnosis murder is because I'm old.
Dick Van Dyke is a national treasure.
That's right. I thought it was a great hashtag, and I stick by it.
Grandpa, isn't it past your bedtime?
Yeah. But no, I thought it was really cool. I liked that the time periods for each round were relatively short because it felt like you don't want to feel like you spend more time writing stuff down than you do pitching, right? Because then there's just like awkward silence portions in the game. And I think having the time constraint makes you just throw things together, which also helps level. I feel like it helps level the playing field between people naturally good at it and people who aren't, because the time is so short that even if you're naturally good at this, you're still really just winging it off the top of your head even by the time you give your pitch, which seems like it's kind of the point. And I think we got a lot of really hilarious stuff because we were all just kind of throwing things all and seeing what stuck within the time that we had, and that was really fun.
And it's one of my favorite moments is like Guilty had one where like you're pitching and then you're getting towards the end of your pitch and all of a sudden you realize a really good like joke or tagline or something to land on. And that's like one of my favorite moments of the game is like watching somebody else all of a sudden realize like where they just got without the planning process of, hey, I'm going to script out this really extensive like set of jokes or something like that. There's this kind of improv context of like, if you don't have an answer and you just start moving forward, right? If you say, "Oh, I've got the answer," and start walking towards the stage, that by the time you get to the stage, you'll probably have the answer.
Totally.
And so if you force yourself into that, it can be really helpful. One of the other cool things, we actually have a lot of schools that are talking about this. A couple of different business colleges, as well as there's a pilot program in the state of Denver that does startup development with entrepreneurial skills with high school students. That we've done a couple play tests with, so they're looking at doing a rollout of the game with. So all that depends on us funding on Kickstarter, but there's been a whole lot of educational interest in the game also, which has been super exciting also too, because they're also like, don't take the fun out, like leave the fun in. We want the fun. This is super helpful. So yeah,
definitely go check out the Kickstarter campaign. The link there, chat. Now we just played one of the possible game modes, right? There's 2 others in the rulebook, if I remember correctly.
Yes. There are 2 others in the rulebook. Which is the ad agency, which is more like a you're instead of doing one brand, you have a longer period of time, and over the course of 3 rounds, you pitch 3 different brands that you kind of pick up and start. Then you basically have 5 minutes to come up with as much as possible for your pitch. But it focuses specifically on typically the marketing components, and it drops off some of the other ones. You just use 4 of the cards for that. It's a blast. And then the accelerator, which is the 40 up to 42 player version, where you can split into 6 teams of. I know it sounds insane. You can split into 6 teams of 7. You have 16 minutes as a team. One person is the CEO, but you just basically crank out as much as you can. And some of our team plays, we've had very rudimentary actual commercials that like Mark, who is a media guy, has taken really bad stock footage of me and laid graphics over it. To make really great commercials a couple times. Or we've had artists who have done really amazing drawings of logos during that time. where people will actually act out skits instead of doing their commercials, or they just get up and they do a full-on pitch that's over the top and wacky as a team. But that one plays in about 35 minutes total. And at the end, everybody votes simultaneously on who they think won, and it's the team that invests the best also wins, as well as the team that gets the most votes at the end of that. It's chaotic, but it is a absolute blast. And I think like most of the times when I played that, we'll play like 3 or 4 times just in quick succession. It's a lot of fun. And so we have a couple other versions that if we have set out as stretch goals. One where it's a little bit more of a trick taking, where you have one person who decides who wins that round, and some of the other things that kind of mess with the play and the structure. But yeah, it's an absolute blast, and you can switch out the focus cards and other things like that. And there's about 3,500 combinations in the core game and more with the expansions.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah, one of the things that I noticed about this game when I was reading it, that there are a lot of formulas for party games where it's like you take 2 cards and put them together and something funny. But I think what makes this game stand out in particular is the way you have the prompts for the different rounds and the way it really delves into how the could evolve. Like, there is a way that you could play this game where it's like, put the type of business together with the audience and come up with a name, and the funniest name wins. You move. And that would be like every other game that's kind of like that's out there. And I feel like you all have put a lot of effort into making something that feels like a party game, but also be so much more than that, and can be played in so many different ways that adds a lot of depth to it that you don't get out of other games that have this put a card with another card type of formula. And that feels really unique and really rewarding to play that kind of game.
Thanks. If you can go to every Facebook group and tweet that out regularly, that'd be great. Yeah, that's the hardest thing. Is it looks like a lot of other games, and it plays very differently from any of them. And so that's great. That's great feedback, and absolutely love to hear that.
Yeah. So,
awesome.
As a reminder for chat, we do have the giveaway now. We'll pick a very, very soon. So if you have not entered the giveaway yet, or if you want to buy more tickets, remember ! tickets and the number of tickets you want to buy, up to 25. Every ticket costs 1 tilt. If you don't know how many tilts you have, type ! tilts in chat. We are giving away 2 sweet swag packs of BrandStanding gear, including some awesome stickers and this really sweet pin with their logo on it. Additionally, if you want to win a free copy of this game,
look at all those stickers.
Go to our Gleam giveaway. It's going to be open until Friday. You can enter for free, and we will send you a copy of the game. It's pretty awesome, as you've seen tonight. I think really it's an all-ages game that can be played in the bar as a drinking game, played with kids in a school, as you mentioned. Like, it has a lot of versatility. I feel like this is a game for everyone, as long as they're okay with trying to like think quick on their feet and be silly and just make stuff fun.
Yep.
And if you enjoy the storytelling piece for part of how we started building some people who love the game, we did a podcast based on this. We've got a 2nd season that'll be coming out towards the end of the Kickstarter. You can find that at bstheshow.com, or you can, just like you can find the Kickstarter at bsthegame.com. So BS the Show, if you want to hear more of these types of pitches from improv artists, comics, and other folks, it's like Shark Tank, but with this type of business concept. And then we've got season 2 that'll be coming out soon also.
Look
awesome.
At that. Amazing. All right. Well, thank you guys again so much for joining us. It was really, really great having the team here to guide us through our first playthrough of the game and to play with us. And I can't wait to get on to dial-up connections. I will put in the Jira ticket of my dreams and patiently wait.
And make sure... Oh, go ahead, Guilty.
We will be back next week at 7 p.m. Pacific. We haven't yet announced what game we're playing, but it'll be something fun, probably something new from 2018. The whole Tilted crew, Jordan and DJ Fluffkins and I were at KublaCon this weekend, and we talked to a whole bunch of producers, and game publishers. And so we've got a lot of new stuff coming in the summer and the fall as well. A lot of other things kickstarting. So we're super excited for you guys at BrandStanding and your Kickstarter. Go support them.
Yes.
And
Check out the
enter
campaign.
game, and we are going to go on a raid. Any closing thoughts from you guys as we pull up this raid?
Yes, we should pick who wins the giveaway.
Do it.
All right. So buy your tickets now if you want on this giveaway. I see you checking Tilted Dolus to see exclamation point tickets, the number of tickets you want to buy. Make sure you all go check out the Kickstarter. They just launched on Sunday. They're over, looks like it's over 10% funded already. Going along well. Back this game. It's awesome. I highly recommend it. You're going to have a blast. Everyone is going to enjoy playing. It is BrandStanding. Go check out their podcast. All the good stuff. All right. We're closing the giveaway here in about 10 seconds. So I hope you bought your tickets if you want to sweet BrandStanding swag. Also, thank you, Tony, Mark, Michael, for joining us. It was amazing having you on the show tonight. You all were great, and congratulations, Mark, on your connections victory, and congratulations on Tony for your hostile takeover of Mark.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's pretty much what happens anytime we hang out.
Yeah. So we're going to close the giveaway here, and we're going to figure out our 2 swag winners. The first winner, drum roll please, is Benji.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Good job, Benji.
Hero
And
all day long, Benji.
the second winner is, if it doesn't pick Benji again, because the second winner is Dolus. Congratulations.
Yay!
Those
Well done.
last second tickets turned out well for you. So Benji, Dolus, I will message you on Twitch tonight and get your information. We'll get you those swag packs sent out as soon as we can. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Do we know who we're rating, Guilty?
Yep, we are going to raid 4-player podcast. They're doing board game night. And,
Ooh, fun.
Since we've been talking about podcasts so much, figure, we'll go check out some other podcasters. Let's see,
Go
what
check
are
out
they
BS The
playing?
Show's podcast. But right now, join us on this raid.
I'm in an ad.
Oh,
It's
no, the ads. We're going to go hang out with 4-player podcasts, so stick around. Go show them some love as they're doing their board game night. Let them know where you came from. We are Tilted Table. You can follow us on Twitter at Tilted Tabletop, or you can join our Discord, !Discord. Thank you again for joining us tonight to play BrandStanding now on Kickstarter. We hope you all have a good night. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Night.
All right.